couple of things inspired me to write Still Alice. And it's strange that I came to write a book at all because I wasn't a writer for the longest time. I was a neuroscientist to begin with. But the real seed for the book was my grandmother, Angie Genova, who was a resident of Waltham her whole life. She lived on College Farm Road. She had Alzheimer's when she was 85. My grandmother, for a lot of people in Waltham who know her, she was very independent. She was not a complainer. She probably went for some time without any of us really knowing what was going on, until we really couldn't ignore it anymore. But by the time we as a family showed up to care for her, she was pretty far along into the disease. And so although as a scientist I could read the scientific literature and find out what was going on molecularly inside her head, and I could read books, the sort of nonfiction self-help books on how to care for someone with Alzheimer's, I couldn't get an answer to the question, what does it feel like to have this? Because my grandmother lacked the communication skills at that point to have that kind of conversation. So that was really the seed for the book. I thought, you know what, someday I'd really love to write a novel about a woman who has Alzheimer's from the very first symptoms from her perspective. What does it feel like to have Alzheimer's? My next novel that I'm writing right now is called Left Neglected, and it's about a woman in her late 30s who's like a lot of women I know today. She is multitasking from the moment she wakes up till the moment her head hits the pillow at night. She's trying to be everything to everyone at her high-powered job for her 3 young kids in her house. She's spread very thin. There's very little room in her day for a mistake, and then she makes one. She's on her way to work, and she's late for a meeting, so she's trying to call in on her cell while she's driving, and she takes her eyes off the road for a second too long and gets in a car accident and suffers a traumatic brain injury. And the condition that she has, which follows, is called left side neglect. And it's a strange condition where you no longer recognize the left side of the world. So left is gone. You only eat food on the right side of your plate. You only dress the right side of your body. You have a hard time even understanding that your left arm and leg belong to you. So, but you can recover from this. And in rehabilitation, she has to not only learn to recover the very idea of left, but to maybe recover a new life that's a little simpler and deeper and makes a little more sense.